Dr. Awesome here with something awesome. All new Wolverine number 7. You might be asking yourself, how could fake Wolverine book be something awesome? Well, let me explain it to you. As most little boys, I grew up reading comic books, and sometime in high school, the reading dropped off. Then by college, it was nothing. So I hadn't read comic books in quite some time. Turns out I found myself at New Comic Book Day 2016. Or, sorry, Free Comic Book Day it's called. Sorry about that. 2016. And I really don't know why I went. I remember going by myself. Nobody went with me. Nobody asked me to go. I was just there. And I remember getting this book, a few other new books that looked interesting, and of course those free books, which pretty much weren't interesting. And it turned out to be a really, really good experience because it got me reading comic books again. And after that, not only did I start again, but I read more than ever. So I really piled on the books in the past 5 years. The only negative thing about the experience, there was a guy in a Spider-Man suit at the comic book store. He was really freaking me out. It was one of those hentai suits that all the cosplayers wear now. And you could pull it off if you're built like the character, but he really, really wasn't. He's about 6'1", lanky. It just didn't work. And also, guys, if you're going to wear one of those, be in shape. And also wear a cup or something, because nobody wants to see that level of detail that can be revealed by those suits. So we have all new Wolverine number 7. And let's see, written by Tom Taylor, art by Marcio Takara. And I must say, I do like the interior art much more than this cover. This cover really doesn't appeal to me. I don't know why I got this actually, based on the cover. Maybe I flipped through it and liked the interior art. And I bet that's the case. The story here is really, really simple. In the last issue, there was a big fight scene, car chase. Big I think it was a Hummer, some kind of military vehicle, crashed into a tree during the chase. Wrecked the tree, and one of the squirrels that lived there went missing. So Squirrel Girl comes by. There she is. My favorite rendition of Squirrel Girl. I didn't like her much after this. She comes by. She wants to recruit Laura to go and recover this squirrel. And of course they accomplish that. That's the story. But the book isn't about the story. The book is about Laura's place in the world and her relationships. Here we have a flashback scene. Wolverine's taking off. Says it won't be safe with him for her. And he's going to, leave her behind at the Institute, which she doesn't much like. She's feeling very isolated. After all, she was a brainwashed assassin, for as long as she could remember. And also, one of the things that gets me is when she says she can smell fear on people. So whoever she's around, she knows that they're afraid of her because she's racked up dozens, maybe hundreds of kills by now. So she really, really has no one she could relate to but Logan, and he's leaving her behind. Then we go into the squirrel story. Squirrel Girl stops by. She's goofy, which I like in betweener books. I don't like much goofiness in main storylines, but if you're going to do an in-betweener for fun, have a goofy character. And at the time, Laura's living with Gabby. And previously we learned that several clones were made from Laura. Actually, I think there might have been 10. And that number got whittled down. And Gabby's one of the survivors. And she's kind of a sidekick, a little bit goofy, a little serious. And that really works. Squirrel Girl really cracks me up here. Because she makes this serious demand that Laura's wronged the squirrel world. And she takes this pose and it's all serious. Laura's like, whatever. But then when she tells her that She crashed the car, they hit the tree that wrecked it, and the squirrel's lost. Of course, she decides to help. But Laura doesn't want to take Gabby along with her. And then she has memories of her previous scene with Logan. And now she's the one that someone wants to cling to because they're lost and have no one else in the world they can relate to. And that's really, really cool that they established this relationship. And I must say, as far as the art goes, I like the character design for Laura here a lot. As after this, I went on and read some X-23 books. I didn't like the way the character was drawn as much as here. Here, she's a short, athletic woman, muscular, and I really liked that. And I really think they drew her, just a little bit thick to show, that she can do physical things. Because her age, I think she's about 18. I really think she'd be built like a gymnast. And if someone's strong because they have mutant powers, meet me halfway, make them look like they're a powerful person. And I really like the way she's drawn here, striding like she's, a little powerhouse there. That's just great. And of course, they find the squirrel, everything's fine. One thing that cracks me up, the humor here, I really like. They return the squirrel. Squirrel Girl translates for the squirrels. Says they're thanking Laura, but she purposely mistranslates. So they're still really upset with her, but she wanted to make her feel better. And then she goes back, decides that she's going to stay with Gabby. Gabby can stay with her as long as she wants. And that's really the home life that Laura wanted and didn't get. She's giving to Gabby, which is really, really pretty cool. And that is, there we have it, all new Wolverine number 7. Is it awesome? Maybe not for itself, but where it led me. After I read this, I read the previous issues, and then the next ones. Then I went back in time for some more X-23, got into her solo series, ordered some trades, scoured my local shops, 3 of them, for floppies I could find. And of course, if you read X-23, you get into X-Force eventually. And the X-Force books were really, really great. One of the reasons, I'm sorry I left comics for a while, just how good X-Force was. And then I just expanded, started reading more and more stuff. So you may have passed on this because it's fake Wolverine, not real Wolverine. I understand that, but, this is worth giving it a try. I really do think that it was a mistake for Marvel to call her Wolverine, because we all knew Wolverine was coming back. Characters in Marvel books always come back, especially the most popular ones. In universe, it might have made sense. Her father figure died, she'd take the mantle. But also in universe, I think they should know that people keep coming back to life. And there's guys from alternate timelines keep showing up. And I guess that's it for now. And give this a try if you didn't in the past. It's a pretty good series. Up until around issue 9 or 10. Because then I found it gets caught up in Civil War II. Doesn't work as well as Laura's own story does. And then we run into the general decline of Marvel Comics after that. And it's just not as good as these early issues. I do recommend 1 through 9. And that's about it for today. Catch you next time.